This week, I tagged along with Rowdy to look at a 1976 Pearson 365. Based on a $5,000 price tag, we weren't expecting much. And while this boat is in need of a full-blown refit, it wasn't as bad as I expected.
All right, today has brought us back to Rockport, and we're taking a look at a Pearson 365. We just met the owner. He just rode up on an electric bike, and he said he's got to run home and get the keys, and we're trying to beat this storm. I don't know if you can see it out there, but you can hear some rumbling in the background. I don't see anything immediately. Oh, there we go. You can see the cloud. That's what's making all that noise. Last time I was out here, there's a Beneteau 343, if I'm not mistaken, for sale. There's a couple, and there's another little cool little trawler over here too. Anyways, we'll take a look at that real quick. I like this marina. If it wasn't such a far drive, I think I'd bring my boat over here. Kind of a cool place to hang out. Well, look at this rig. That's unique. If you know what that is, leave me a comment. Tell me more about this. But that is certainly something I haven't seen before. That is super cool. I like to see, it almost feels like, I guess, okay, there I see where the sail would go up, but why does that boom have to be like that? Because it's on a traveler back here, I'm guessing, right? No, it's just simple. I don't know. Again, if you know what that is, leave a comment below.
While we waited for the owner, we walked around the marina and looked at other boats and some of Rockport's legendary art installations. This particular 365 is a catch rig with a fin keel and skeg hung rudder. The LOA is 36 and it loses 6 feet at the water line, which barely ekes out 30 feet at the water. However, the beam is 11.5 feet and it has a bay-friendly draft of 4.5. With a capsize score of 1.76, this Pearson was built for blue water adventures and not meant to be tethered to the dock. As you might expect, the standing rigging was beyond its service life and the running rigging didn't even exist. If you noticed in the previous clip, the lifelines are missing, but the owner stated that he has the stanchions in storage. Speaking of the owner, he's a likable guy, but he didn't know much about the boat. He's owned the boat for a couple years. During that time, he's made a few repairs, but unfortunately, the boat has never left the dock. So now he's ready to turn loose of his dream with hopes that someone else can bring her back to her former glory. The wood tow rail was damaged or missing in several areas, leaving the fiberglass hull exposed to the elements. It's a 50-year-old boat that needs a lot of TLC, which makes it hard not to sound negative as I look around the boat and make comments. But there were some highlights, like the size of the lazarette compartment. Probably the biggest red flag for me were the dozens of rivets in the mizzen mast. It looks like it might have been repaired at some point, but under a load, I'm not sure I'd be comfortable with the previous repair.
All right, so we just stepped aboard. It's about in the condition we expected it to. I really like the layout. I was just talking to about the advantages of this U-galley here, so that, you know, if you're cooking or preparing something like here, no matter what tack you're on, you can lean into something. He just opened this up, was taking a look at the ice box and refrigerator, which was actually large. So there's a lot of storage in this boat. You gotta admit, for a boat that's 40 something years old, it's the woodwork is in surprisingly good shape. And some of the things that we're seeing missing, he says that he has that come along with the boat. Like we noticed there was no stanchions. He has those. Oh, that's right in there. That's not uncommon.
A lot of water in the bilge.
But here's what's interesting. The boat's dry. This woodwork, like, I don't see any staining. So what you'll do is you'll look and just, you know, you see, that's nothing. I mean, like, you just don't see it. You'll normally see all of this is usually just on this rot to hell. You can't see, I need a light. That one. 365 here. Got some Seacocks. There's your depth sounder.
The bilges were rough and full of sludge, and the owner reports they were filled with oil after the engine threw a rod, and he's never gotten around to cleaning it. I'm always impressed with the use of space on these older boats, and even craft ideas of how I can integrate them into my boat. Now we're looking at the engine compartment, which frankly is a hot mess. The current engine is a 41 horsepower Perkins diesel and it's DOA, as it has a rod sticking through the block. However, the owner said he's including another working replacement engine as part of the deal. The original boat probably didn't come with a lot of electrical components from the factory, but what little was there was in poor condition. The next owner will need to completely rip out the existing electrical system and replace everything new. As we were walking up to the boat, the owner told us that the mainsail was only 3 to 5 years old. After seeing the condition of the boat, I found that to be unlikely, but sure enough, the mainsail looked to be in good shape. However, I didn't see a head sail, a mizzen sail, heck, the mizzen didn't even have a boom.
So what I'm pointing out right now looks like a light, but that bolt right there is bent.
And then he comes in, what, 7-8 hours? A grand of labor?
Again, I'm showing the condition of the wood tow rail, and frankly, I'm shocked that the boat appears to be watertight. I didn't originally notice that the rear stay was lashed with double braided rope, and the growth on the bottom was bad, which is exactly what I would expect from a boat that hasn't left the slip in years. Well, there's a quick and dirty look at a 49-year-old Pearson 365 located in the Rockport Marina. For the right person, she has good bones and could be a worthy project, but it won't come cheap. Plus, a quick look online revealed that for just a few thousand more, you can find a similar boat that can sail and has a running diesel. But just like restoring antique cars, sometimes the project is the largest part of the journey. I sincerely hope that someone restores this boat and she has a second chance at life at seas, which is exactly where this Pearson was meant to be. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching till the end and following my journey, one adventure at a time. If you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Your engagement truly helps the algorithm show my videos to a broader audience. Alright, I'll see you next time.